Good evening friends, this side Rahul Magan here is a Group Chief Executive Officer Treasury Consulting and also a venture capitalist. Today, standing on the 3rd June 2019, we are going to be shooting a very dedicated video about an IR derivative. IR derivative stands for interest rate derivative, and in this interest rate derivative, we are going to be shooting a video which is known as IR collars. Now, as you very well understand that interest rate derivative is the second largest traded market of the globe with size of over $100 trillion. Now, if you look at the Basel website, which is bis.org, the fresh trial survey is yet to come, and that fresh trial survey will hit in September 2019. Now it's going to hit September 2019. We need to wait that what would be that number, but sitting today, comparing the spot and the FX market, which is roughly $5.03 trillion, interest rate derivative is the 20 times market than that. And I'm damn sure that by the time the trial survey will come out in September, this figure would be more than $150 trillion. We need to wait for that. Irrespective of these statistics, today we're going to talk about something which is known as IR collars. Interbank market is heavily dependent upon the IR collars. That's a fact, and no one in this globe, including Goldman Sachs, can deny this fact. But at the same point of time, the banks are having something. So each bank, like Goldman, Chase, Standard Chartered, UBS, Barclays, they have their different versions of how to take IR collars. So an IR collars is an integral part of the immunization program run by the ALCO, Asset and Liability Committee, whereby people like GS, they sometimes take gross up collars, sometimes take net up collars, while Chase would have a different strategy, UBS would have a different strategy. So everybody would have a different strategy in place, but everyone will take different collars into consideration. So here we are making an example in that regards. And the example is that we are assuming that the counterparty is RIL India. Reliance India do not need any introduction, and before starting, whatever we are quoting is just an example. Example to add a flavor or is to give you a sense. That is why we mentioned the name. It's just to give you a sense. Only an example, nothing more than that. Counterparty Reliance India, sub-account Goldman India, GS India shortly. Principal bank is the GS US. Amount is 14,000 crores. Indian rupee, 14,000 crores. Type, liability to liability, period 5 years. So here we are assuming that Reliance Industries Limited India is having 14,000 crores of Indian rupee liability in the book. Could be for any reason. For their geo operation, upcoming e-commerce operation, petrochemical business, or whatever. They have number of businesses, right? For each different businesses, whatever they have accumulated 14,000 crore of Indian rupee liability in the books, which is currently costing them say 9%, and which they wanted to swap it to the dollar liability. Now there are many intelligent people who think that the only conversion can possible is the dollar liability to the INR liability. But these intelligent people, supported by the more intelligent bankers, do not know that we also have a provision or interest rate derivative whereby we would be able to convert the INR liability to the dollar liability. And this is what Reliance is doing, and we will take this holistically. However, we need to consider one thing, that like I told you that in case of conversion of dollar liability to INR liability, which is known as the reverse dollarization swap. I repeat, dollar liability to INR liability, which is known as the reverse dollarization swap. This is INR liability to dollar liability, which is known as dollarization swap. So here we are covering interest rate collar on the dollarization swap, which in the interbank parlance, in our parlance, like doctors are having their language, everybody like pilots are having their language. Similarly, we have our language. In the interbank parlance, this is known as direct. We would have one more video which is indirect, which is reverse dollarization swap, that may be hitting today, tomorrow, whatever time, tomorrow, day after, whatever time. So here we assume that the final conversion of liability is done by this gentleman, which is RIL India, Reliance Industries Limited India, which is at Jamnagar or corporate office at Mumbai. The party is Goldman Sachs US, who is giving the dollar. Now Goldman, we know that as per RBI guidelines, and in the swap transaction you need a local sub account. It's not about RBI. In fact, you do this transaction anywhere, you need a local sub account, because local sub account is mandatory. If you have a local sub account in place, then you would be able to make it more effective. Since you have a local sub account in place, so local sub account for Goldman US would only be Goldman India, because Goldman will not give this business to HSBC, Standard Chartered, UBS and all. Goldman would like to keep this business for himself. That's for sure. There is no doubt about that, and nothing wrong in that, to be honest, right? Now, Goldman would be converting the INR liability to the dollar liability, which is in this, what is the carry currency? Now, in every liability transaction or the IR transaction, there is a carry currency. Now, here we are talking about the pair, which is known as USD INR. Now, in USD INR, USD generates 2.5%, while India generates 6.5%. Now, I know there are many people who would have objection that why I am saying that India generates 6.5%, because I am taking BMK curve, benchmark curve. I am not taking like Anil Ambani group where the swap spread is more than 4%, Yes Bank where the swap spread is more than 4.5%. I am taking 10-year benchmark curve, because the carry is always compared with the benchmark curve, and if you do not know, you should know that carry trades are always be distinguished or always be basically checked from AAA rated, which is the BNK curve or the treasury curves. So the carry currency in this is the INR. So, and this transaction is for 5 years. Now, since it is for 5 years, we need to remember that when Reliance would be hitting that, now note carefully, in the reverse dollarization swap, conversion of dollar liability to INR liability, you hit when the forward premiums are low, because you are going to pay that premium, which is known as POS cost. While in case of the dollarization swap, which is conversion of INR liability to dollar liability, you hit when the premium is high, because you are going to be receiving that, which is known as net MIFOR. MIFOR minus LIBOR, although there is a little impact, which is MIFOR into LIBOR, that stay, but ultimately it is the net of LIBOR which he is getting. So 1 year premium is currently 2 rupee 96 paisa. I assume this to be the 3 rupees. So this 3 rupees Reliance would be receiving every year from GS India. Now how they would be receiving? Very simple. 300 divided by 69.45 into 100. So this much percent. Whatever you divide 300 divided by 69.45 into 100%, whatever percent would come, this X percent would be received. So this is X percent into 14,000 crores. I repeat. Now today 1 year premium is 2 rupee 96 paisa. I flatly take it at 3. So 300 means 3 rupees means 300 paisa. 300 divided by 69.45 into 100%. Whatever number will come, which is X percent, that X percent into 14,000 crore, this would be received by RIL India every year, since they are giving a currency to GS India which is having more carry. But at the same point of time, we need to understand that Goldman Sachs is not a charitable organization. It is not a trust. It is not a no-profit organization. It is a bank, amongst best bank of the globe. Henceforth, GS is also giving him the dollar, for which GS would be charging a rate, which is known as the GS would be charging a rate which is known as the USD swap rate plus QSD. Now what is QSD? Lot of times I did told you what is QSD. QSD stands for quality spread differential, which in Indian parlance misnomerly, in English or the lexical, the meaning of misnomerly means just a rough word. Misnomerly is known as the credit spread. No, it is actually quality spread differential, right? So RIL would be paying, RIL would be receiving, which is USD swap rate. RIL would be receiving, which is X percent, and RIL would be paying USD swap rate plus QSD. Now if we go by the public domain, the QST of RIL, the quality spread differential of RIL, is tentatively 1% to 1.25%. So I flatly treat this as 1%, right? It effectively means that the 1 year LIBOR is 2.7 plus 1%, which is 3.7. So ultimately it would be X percent minus 3.7%. This would be the net off. That is why it is very essential for our RIL to cover this exposure when the forward premium is high. Else it might turn out to be the negative carry for RIL as well. The biggest case come here for Chase. Now Goldman is actually paying MIFOR to RIL, and the MIFOR is actually not MIFOR, the swap annualized premium to RIL, which is X percent. Now that X percent may go up. If it goes up, it's a benefit for GS. Reason, GS has that X percent. If it go down, then it's a loss to GS, because GS paying more to RIL. Now GS would be covering this exposure using IR collars, interest rate collars, and what GS would be doing, GS would be coming to the interbank partner, and that interbank partner would be Chase Singapore, JP Morgan Chase Singapore, in our parlance known as Chase Singapore, right? He will move to Chase Singapore, and in Chase Singapore, since he is paying, I repeat, he is paying swap annualized premium to RIL, he would be buying collars. He would be buying collars. So what he would be doing? He would be buying collars. Now collar would have two things. One is floors and one is caps. Many intelligent people of the globe, and you will get these people only in India. Many intelligent people of the globe, which you get only in Indian banking system, let me correct that, feels that interest rate collar is all about buying a floor and selling a cap. Since they have absolute zero knowledge that interest rate collars are of actually 4 types. Number 1, fixed floor, fixed cap. Fixed means fixed rate. Fixed floor, float cap. Float floor, float cap. And float floor, fixed cap. Here comes a beautiful concept in the globe which was there when we were not alive, which is there when we are alive, and which would be there when we would not be alive, which is immunization. GS ALCO, Asset and Liability Committee, need to take up a call. I'm not saying on a single transaction they need to take up a call. They would have a policy in immunization about IR derivatives. It is not a single case they need to take up a call. Let me reframe my words. The GS immunization policy would surely have something in place. Why surely? Would always have something in place which would suggest to the trading desk of GS that they will go this, or this. And here, using this structure, GS is covering the exposure which is on the head of RIL, or on their head because of RIL. Now, to wind up this discussion, what actually happens, we always tend to see something which people want us to see. Reason, CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, GARP, CA Institute, CS Institute, and multiple institutes, multiple degrees, CPA. They do not tell us exactly that there is something which is going at the back of the trade, and we don't know about that. Neither we wanted to know it about that. Actually, that is a more realistic version. We really don't want to know it about that. Now, this is what even this part most of the books do not cover. Forget this. Actually, before taking the trade, GS would have an interbank partner, and that interbank partner, based upon their policy or at that scenario or the trader perception or the head of trading orders, they will decide which one to go, and based upon that they will give the pricing to RIL. And now it is up to RIL whether they accept that pricing or do not accept the pricing. We are not debating now, we are just assuming a case that this is what the scene is. The scene will take more turn. The scene will take more turn when GS will have 2 more options, which is deliverable callers and non-deliverable callers. Because Indian definition is very clear. The only product in the non-deliverable market is the non-deliverable forward. Except that there is no product in the globe. But Reuters and Bloomberg definition is also clear that non-deliverable forward, non-deliverable swaps, non-deliverable OIS, non-deliverable callers, non-deliverable IRS, non-deliverable callable bonds, you tell and we have everything in place. You would be surprised to know that Bloomberg give you a 40-year curve, 40-year curve of which is known as NDS INR curve. NDS INR curve is known as non-deliverable swap INR curve. 40-year, boss, you are at 2020, practically or 19, whatever you take. It is 2059. But Indian definition is straight. The only product is the non-deliverable forward. Henceforth, Goldman Sachs, US and India, before giving this swap to RIL, they first need to see that which of the four they are going with as per their immunization policy or as per their profitability or as per the market or as per the call from the trading desk, and are they going deliverable, are they going non-deliverable. Interest rate callers looks very simple, but it is not the same. With this, Treasury Consulting would like to thank you very much for this video, watching this video, and more videos on the way. In this, we're going to have one holistic video wherein we do the pricing as well, and you need to wait for that. We know that we are moving as a bank and there are a lot of things to do, and apart from that we need to make a lot of videos as well. You know, time is always a constraint. You know my mobile number 919899242978. You know my email rahul.magan@treasuryconsulting.in. You know our platform www.fixedincome.global. Before winding up this video, if you really think you are a person of capable, a person who wanted to do something different, a person who is upfront, a person who is ready to challenge the status quo and have credentials in place, we have a WhatsApp group. We would like to invite you. With this, we thank you very much and talk soon. Thank you.